Hello, my name is Karpusami. I'm going to be explaining my seventh Unix lab experiment. This experiment is about doing some file operations using the system call that's available in the Unix. So the first program is write a C++ program, copy the contents of one file to another file using the Unix system calls. Um, so what you have to do is we have to create a text file already, which I have already created, and then we have to copy the contents of that file to another file that the user can create already, or it will be created in the program itself. So here I've included the header files, and then this is the main function. I'm creating two different file descriptors, fd1 and fd2, and as because it returns an integer value, the data type is int, and then I'm having a buffer which is of 100 in size, and the data type is char, and then the file name is another string which is of 10 size, and the next one is f2, which is of 10. So first we'll get the file name, the first file name, and we'll store it in file name, and then we're going to open it using this command system called open. We're giving file name, and we're giving read only permission. So fd1 will store 0 if the operation is successful, and -1 if the file is not full. So we're checking if fd1 is -1, and we'll display file doesn't exist. And then we're reading the characters available in the file 1. So we're giving the file descriptor 1, and then we're giving the buffer that we're going to store the values in, and then the size. So the size is 100, and then we're giving the contents are, and along with the buff. So we're printing the buff. So whatever value was in the file descriptor will be printed. In the file will be printed, and then we're asking for the second file name, and we're storing it in f2, and then we're creating fd2, that is the file descriptor 2, and we're using this file 2 because sometimes the user might not have created the text file already. And then we're writing the values that is found in the first buff into the file descriptor 2. So the content of the first file will be copied to the content of the second file. So the content of the second new file is and whatever we just copied will be printed over here, and we're displaying that through cout buff. So this is the first experiment. I'll show you the. So the file name that I've created it in is 7text1.txt. So the content is hello, and then I'm giving the second file name, so which is 7text2.txt. So as you can see, the content of the new file is hello. So it has been copied from file 1 to file 2. So the next program is this one, and we'll see the question. So the next question is we have to concatenate two files and write it in the third file. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to concatenate the file 1 and file 2 and store it in file 3. So for that we're initializing all these things. This is for file 1, this is for file 2, this is for file 3, and these are two different buffers we're going to use. And first we're asking for the first file name, the second file name, and the third file name, and we're opening all three files, and we're going to store the values in file descriptor to check if the file exists. So if the file descriptor value is -1, the file doesn't exist, and we're going to print that. And what happens here is FD is the file descriptor of the first file, FD2 is the file descriptor of the second file, and FD3 is the file descriptor of the third file. So we're reading the values and storing it in buff, the values of the first file, and then in buff1 we're storing the value of the second file, and then we're writing the values, that is the buff, in file 3, and then buff1, that is the value present in the second file, to the file 3, and we display it has been written. So the first file name is 7text1.txt. The second file name is text 2.txt. The third one is 7text 3.txt. So it has been written. Now I'll open it for you. So the name is 7text3.txt. So as you can see, we've concatenated the first file's value, that is hello, and the second one's value, which is another hello. So the third file has hello. And then the third one. So the question for it is write a C program to append some values, some data to an existing file using Unix system call. So for it, what we're doing here is, as we already have done, we'll get the file name in F1, and then we're storing the value within buff, and then we just getting the value here, and then we're having a file descriptor over here, and we're opening the file. And if the file descriptor value is -1, the file doesn't exist. Otherwise, we're doing these operations. What happened here is we're asking the user to enter some data, and we're storing it in buff. And then what you have to do now is we have to append the value in the buff to the file uh, the user entered. So the system call that first we uses lseek, and we're giving a file descriptor 1 and 0 and 2. So what happens is now we're going to write the value of buff to the value present in the FT1. So after merging both of these, we're going to print it as it has been appended, and then we're going to return 0. So the file name is, I'm going to choose the second file .txt, and then the data to be appended, I'll give it as data, and it has been appended. So we'll open it. So as you can see, hello, and then data is present, and then these are the garbage values that the program initializes. So I've initially given a test in, so this takes up 4, and then the rest 3 is of garbage value. I mean the rest 6 garbage values. So the next program is 70. So the question for it is, so here, write a C or C++ program to randomly access a file using Unix system calls. So so what we're doing here is we're having a file descriptor ft, and then a position, a pointer, then a buff, and then the file name that we're going to ask the user. So as I just said, we're asking the user to enter the file name, and then we're storing it in file name, and we're creating a file descriptor, and we're using open system call to open the file, and then if it returns -1, the file doesn't exist, and then we're asking the user to enter the location to which the program should begin the access of the file, and then we're storing it in PTR, and then we're using position, and we're going to use lseek again, going to give ft, that is the file descriptor, and the pointer, that is the access that the user just entered, and then we're going to use a read position and 200 minus PTR, and we're going to read the values present in the buff. So the amount of values that will depend on the value of read post, and then gonna display the content of the file from the position, the PTR is, and then we're gonna show the values that are present already. So we're gonna give 7D, and then we're gonna use .8. So now I'm gonna enter the second file name. So it's 7text2.txt. So I'm gonna give Unix lab, because that's my thing, and then the contents of the data from the position 0 is, and we're displaying hello data because that's the value of the 7text2.txt. So that's the program. Thank you very much.